NBL punters, you know this already, but I'm going to remind you again, Bet with Mates is the absolute best way to consume and bet on the NBL for season 2024. The season is absolutely airborne. We've seen some massive dunks, some big triples and some close games from all of the NBL's superstars. And you can do it now by betting with your mates. And the new chat function is the way to go. Give your mates the honest feedback on their good bets and the bets that don't get up. We love it. Enjoy the NBL all season long with Bet with Mates.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Delavan over from outside. What a hit from Dahlia. Just shows where his confidence is at.
Credit where it's due to the Aussie basketball legend.
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, you love to see that from Nathan Sobey.
40, throwing it down. That's pretty impressive. Scott peels off the triple.
Great looking shot there.
Starting to find his role. Shannon Scott stole it away. Quick out of the hand, bottom of the net.
Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena, where it's Melbourne Marathon weekend. But the only race that we're interested in is that for the NBL Championship. And tonight, Melbourne United play host to the Brisbane Bullets. The Bullets coming off 2 consecutive losses, and Melbourne United, well, a fantastic win against the Red Army in Perth. I'm joined here by Leonard Copeland, and before we check the Mitsubishi Motors standings, the ladder, and just how close this league is, Melbourne United so far, a little bit surprising, doing it on the defensive end with such an offensive roster.
And that was always going to be the way after that loss on Friday against Tasmania. Dean Bickerman said to himself, listen, guys, we got to play some defense. And they went to Perth, and they shut Cotton down. They did a great job.
Well, have a look at the Mitsubishi ladder right now, because Melbourne United sitting right there atop the perch, 3-1. But the Brisbane Bullets, if they can get a win this afternoon, they move themselves into that conversation right up there.
Absolutely, and here's the thing. I don't think Brisbane's won here in 2 years, so that's a hard job. But Shula knows Dean Bickerman, and Dean Bickerman knows Shula, so it's going to be a tough match for both teams.
It's always nice to see the coaches match up against each other when they come from the same coaching tree, but it'd be remiss of me not to mention the elephant in the room, or maybe the elephant that's not in the room, which is Aaron Baines, the big fella, because we'll show the footage if you have missed it. He is suspended for 5 games, the star Brisbane Bullet, for an incident against the Cairns Taipans, which we'll show here. An unnecessary incident, but he's going to get through the suspension. How are the Brisbane Bullets, in their case, going to work through this without their star big?
They got to find a way. Look, the good thing is they got Harrison and Zakarski, 2 big guys that can step in for them. They won't be the same, but at least they got height and they can play some defense. But here's, and as well, you got defensive guards who play well, but you got a guy like Sobey who's offensive-minded, who can score the ball.
Well, you speak of Sobey, and yeah, his prowess is known on the offensive end. The current league leading scorer, and able to do so mostly because Shannon Scott, leading the league in assists, is carrying the weight on that end that Sobey now doesn't have to do.
And he does a fantastic job, too, of getting Sobey the ball where he needs it. Last year, Sobey was in the point guard position. Now he's playing 2, and he's beating him in the right spots. He's taking it to the hole. He's shooting a 3. Sobey just looks like a much better player.
Well, he's looking getting to the rim, but one of the issues which we may see is he falls over a lot at the end of these plays, and we've seen some issues in defensive transition for the Bullets.
Yep. When he drives to the basket, he tends to hit the floor. That leaves his team vulnerable. They're playing 5-on-4 now, and that's how Sydney were able to get down and get the shot that they were looking for.
Well, the man you see on your screen right there, Justin Shula, also a reason for Sobey coming and having this coming out party this year and getting back to his old best. He's a player's coach in every sense of the word.
He certainly is. And look, in this venue, he's helped Melbourne United win 2 championships, so he knows what he's doing. You know, he knows it's all about getting the guys in the right positions. And again, we talked about Sobey being in that 2 spot. I just think he helps him to be a much better team.
Now, I want you to touch on this, Leonard, because you've been in this situation. Luke Travers on Friday night coming out and showing against his old team. There was some boos in the crowd.
Let me tell you something. There's nothing like going back to your old team. You want to win, but then when you hear those boos in the crowd, you look up and go, what's going on here? You guys can't remember what I did for you? So, look, it was good for him to get a win. I think he feels better about it.
Well, the one player that will never receive a boo in Australian basketball, whether he's on your team or not, is that man, Matthew Dellavedova. The scoring the last couple of games dropped off, but a more complete game.
He's playing a much complete game. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, He's looking to pass the ball. He's playing defense, and he's shooting the ball. He's a total player.
And of course, Ariel Huck-Porty missed last season due to an Achilles injury. He's been their defensive anchor, but Leonard, he's got to stay on the floor.
He's got to stay out of foul trouble. If he can stay out of foul trouble, Melbourne United have a very good chance of staying in first place.
Well, I'll tell you what, this one is about to tip off, and none other than the voice of Australian basketball in stadium, John Casey. Take it away.
You're too kind, Felix. A privilege to work with you and Copes and with these two gentlemen. Alan Williams, leading rebounder last year. Liam Santa Maria, next star guru. Let's take a look at the starting fives, guys. And Melbourne, well, they've used this same five for every game this year, Al.
Yeah, it's been really successful for them early on in the season, starting with Della Vadova, Illy, Goulding, Travers, and Hark-Party at the five.
And Liam, we take a look at Brisbane's lineup. It's somewhat different given that they've had 8 different starters this year, but this is the same team that took the floor, the same starters against Sydney on Friday.
Yeah, Harrison in the middle in place of Baines. Nathan Sobey, of course, the league-leading scorer. Harrison needs to be big early against Ariel Huck-Porty.
So we are set to go in Melbourne. Melbourne United have won their last 8 games against the Brisbane Bullets, but this is a different Bullets this season under rookie coach Justin Schuller. So many subplots to look forward to, and it is the Bullets through Mitchell who've controlled the tip, and will get first opportunity here. So Shannon Scott coming off an 11-assist game on Friday night against Sydney, most in the competition this season, one of the best facilitators in the NBL. Finds Sobey in the corner, shot clock to 2. Sobey's going to have to jack it up here. Can't convert. They kept it alive. Well done there. Harrison in tandem with Chris Smith. They work the ball together again, and Harrison gets scoring underway.
Big time bucket from Terrell Harrison there, getting the start today because Aaron Baines isn't in there and gets his left hook right off the bat.
This is Travers, so impressive in Perth against his old team on Friday night. Huck-Porty bounces into Sobey. Now Harrison is going to try and prevent him from getting from close range, and did a good job of it. And now Travers with a whistle on the play.
Big fellas going up against each other down low on those opening couple of possessions. Teams love to assert their will on the interior early doors. And here Harrison stood up, got the initial block, and then the ball fell to Travers, and he's off to the free throw line.
The key there for Harrison, I think, was just keeping Hark-Party away from his left hook. Tyra Harrison on the other end got his left hook to go early on. Not letting Hark-Party get to that left hand is really essential to stop him down there.
So Luke Travers, no problem from the free throw line. Ties it away here inside the first minute. Sky hands over to Mitchell. Playing a different role this season, DJ Mitchell, but is rising to the challenge. This is Scott against Della Vadova again. The shot clock rolls down to single digits. Scott ushered toward the baseline by Huck-Porty. He gets Mitchell a good look, but he stepped out of court.
This is the big challenge for Brisbane. In fact, any team playing against Melbourne United this season, you got to execute your offense in the half court. They're so tough and so physical, so connected, Melbourne, defensively. Can you work through that to still get good shots in the half court?
Yeah, and I think it comes on second side action, second side and third side actions. Not initially going from that first pick and roll and trying to score, but working the clock and trying to work that defense to find an opportunity to get a basket.
Della Vadova working against Smith, double team, another whistle, so more free throws to come here for Melbourne United. Determined to get the ball on the inside early doors.
Yeah, and this is what Daly's done this so well to start this year is he's looked to score, be aggressive. So I've got to be a threat to score. My instincts in terms of playmaking and setting my teammates up will kick in, but I got to make sure the defense knows I'm trying to put that ball through the hoop.
64% from the free throw line this season, 9 of 14 coming into today's game. It's quite a contrast, isn't it? Nathan Sobey is top scorer for Brisbane in all 4 games. Melbourne has had 4 different high scorers in their 4 games so far.
Yeah, you know, United built this team, and they have a really offensive-minded group now that with a lot of guys that have the ability to score the basketball. Obviously, you have CG out there who's always going to be among the top of the leading scorers around the league, but to add a Luke Travers and a Huck-Porty and a Shea Illy coming off of a good New Zealand campaign in the World Cup, all these guys have the confidence to score, and so any given night it can be anybody's turn.
Foul on Harrison, his first personal. 3rd team foul on Brisbane here inside 2 minutes. Melbourne yet to commit, so some adjustment needed in that area from the Brisbane Bullets. Shaylee brings Melbourne back up the floor against Scott. His penetration is good as well. Finds Golding, shut down by Sobey. Here's Hook Porty working on Harrison. The big bodies muscle up against one another. Gets to the left hand, adds the two.
I absolutely love it. Get to the bigs early and get him the ball. He got to his left hand on that one, unlike prior to the last shot he made, but it was just amazing to see these bigs going at it early on in this game tonight.
5 unanswered points then from Melbourne United. Scott, a little undecided there, and they turned the ball over as well. So good pressure from Melbourne. Second turnover on Brisbane.
And this is what you were talking about, Sir Sauce, early doors. Don't let Hook Porty get back to his left. He's coming to the middle, and then bam. Got his shoulder past Harrison, kissed it off the glove.
Dellavedova with the ball. Plenty of talk coming from Brisbane's bench at the moment. They wanted Harrison in a better position than where he was. Now chance for Nathan Sobey. Past Dellavedova and Travers beyond Hook Porty. Skirting the baseline nicely, but can't finish it off. Harrison kept it alive momentarily. It spills out of court off Golding. So just 1 of 4 from the field, Brisbane. Had a lot of success here in Melbourne against United. 10-2 at home, United against Brisbane, but the last 3 losses for Brisbane, they've actually led the game at half-time. So this Smith, who can fill it up quickly and does on cue.
Woo. That's a big-time shot from Chris Smith. When Brisbane are really struggling, he's a guy that can really open the game up with his shooting ability, as proven right there.
Illy against Scott. Finds Hook Porty working on Harrison. Oh, got him going the wrong way from close range. Hook shot wouldn't work for him. Ian Clark preparing to check into the game here. We played 3.5 minutes in the opening quarter. Feeling out process so far as both teams just try and find some rhythm. Sobey in the corner, off the mark. Harrison the O-board, keeps it alive for the Bullets. He wanted Scott. It was an awkward pass, and Scott did well there to work it away from the clutches of Illy, and now goes back to work on him solo, well off the mark. Ball spills out of court. Melbourne will come up with it.
They lost their way right in that moment, Brisbane, with the one-on-one pull-up there from Shannon Scott. But early doors, I thought they've moved the ball pretty well. This Bullets team looks so much better when they give the ball life, they get through their stuff, and I think over the first 4 minutes, by and large, they've done a good job of that.
Well, Travers decides to go alone. Wouldn't work. Porty the offensive rebound, and just spinning into Shannon Scott, who relieves him of possession.
Got to keep that ball up high if you're big off of an offensive rebound, especially with Shannon Scott in the area, who has known to have really quick hands.
This Harrison did a good job with the body there, preventing Dellavedova from tracking Smith down to the baseline. So an easy 2 puts Brisbane back on top.
Beautiful pass from Harrison. Just weighted that perfectly over the outstretched hand.
Outside shot wouldn't work again. So Melbourne with their shooting woes so far, none of 3 from deep. Brisbane on top by 2. Sobey got a mismatch, finds Harrison close to the bucket, and he adds another 2.
Great ability there from Nathan Sobey. Going to his left hand, he's normally known to go right and get downhill to score, but is patient with the ball screen and finds Terrell Harrison there underneath the basket.
Now 7 unanswered points here for Brisbane. Nice run for them as Sobey picks up the foul. So 4th team foul on Brisbane, all individuals.
Fun battle of the bigs there over the first 5 minutes. Harrison and Hook Porty involved in all the actions at each end of the floor. They're both gassed, and they're both having a rest. That's the beautiful pass on the Harvey Norman replay. And now it's Rob Lowe and Rocco Zakarsky checked in.
Golding fills it up from deep, right over the top of Sobey.
CG43 in his arena. His night, he missed the first shot, but no, that's not going to discourage him from taking the next one as he knocks it home.
Oh, his arena? Not the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix?
Look, I give credit where credit is due. The banners up there are hanging from them. We're working on getting ours, but until then, it's definitely his spot for now.
And it would have been very high on the whiteboard for Justin Schuller. Guard the three-point line. They're last in the league in three-point percentage, Melbourne, but so dangerous from downtown. Chris Golding, Ian Clark.
Here's Clark getting a hand in the passing lane and winning it back for Melbourne. He's really been impressive in the 2 games he's played before today, Ian Clark. They've coughed it up as well. Sobey with Dellavedova to beat. And good work from Melbourne to get back in numbers there to prevent anything happening on the fast break. Here's Sobey, bounces into Dellavedova, decides to fire over the top. Couldn't get it to work. Lowe has the rebound. So Sobey now none of 4 from the field, including none of 2 from long range. League's leading scorer. Just off the boil here in the first 6 minutes. Clark, lob pass, Lowe, and a mismatch against Scott. Muscles his way in. Didn't get enough on the shot. Here's Kyle Bowen with a clean-up too.
Gave him some good minutes. The rookie off the bench in Perth, 13 minutes or so. With Hook 40 and Lowe picking up fouls, and here he is getting some first quarter run.
Zakarski on the floor early as well. Pass to Sobey in traffic. Couldn't finish it. Zakarski just lost control of it there as he went for the finish. Dellavedova to Bowen from close range. Adds another 2. So they've scored 7 unanswered points after Brisbane had scored the previous 7.
Something United's doing really well this year, turning their defense into offense, getting out on the fast break after a turnover and a missed shot.
Zakarski for Scott. Works to an opening. Red numbers on the shot clock now for McDaniel. He bounces into Golding and heavy contact there. And Jackie Dover is going to make the call here.
43.
And it's on Chris Golding.
Well, he's really not happy. Dean Bickerman threw it to his assistants to have a bit of a look. You see here McDaniel on the spin, the shot fake. Jeez. He didn't really get Golding airborne.
Bang, bang type of play. Anytime you kind of sort of leave your feet on that play, typically the referees are giving it to the offensive player there. And that's just another example of that.
Of course, McDaniel last season in Tassie, but a championship winner here with Melbourne United. 9 of 14 at 64% from the free throw line so far this season. I've liked what he's brought to the table in Brisbane. 9 points, 7 rebounds, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, and you always know what he's going to bring defensively, Sam McDaniel, but his offensive game is blossoming as well under Justin Schuller in Brisbane.
So seesawing affair here. Melbourne on top by 1 at the moment. Low, looked off Dellavedova, takes on Norton. Bounce pass, had too much on it for Ian Clark. Melbourne turn it over. They've got 3 turnovers. Likewise, Brisbane with 3 in that category. Inside the last 3 minutes of a low-scoring opening quarter so far. Melbourne has not lost an opening quarter this season. 4-0 at quarter time. As Isaac White brings Brisbane back up the floor. No starters on the deck at the moment here in the first quarter for Brisbane. Zakarski bounces into Bowen, so he draws the foul.
Catch and land, baseline. Blue 14, blocking foul.
It's their second team foul, so no free throws here for Brisbane. Not surprising to see it low scoring in this first quarter. 2 teams that have been pretty good defensively over the first part of the season. Brisbane lost their way the other night, gave up 113 to Sydney and had some trouble, but their previous 3 games were pretty solid, and Melbourne, of course, have been the standout team at the defensive end thus far.
The pass from Norton after a lot of Zakarski. Well done, Rob Lowe again. Having that impact has been tremendous, Source.
Yeah, speaking on that defensive end, Rob Lowe coming off of a great season in the NBL there. He was the MVP and DPOI with 3 massive blocks against Perth last game, and he's really been an anchor for them defensively coming off the bench this year.
You see the physicality there. Rocco Zakarski. Justin Schuller just chewed him out as he brought him out of the game, because the next possession, when Rob Lowe got a hand on it, he's telling Rocco, you got to be way stronger. You got to hold him out of the spot.
Illy. No reply off the window for him. His shooting woes continues. Just 5 of 37 at 14% this season. White wrestled his way past Travers, but Krebs wasn't buying it and wrestled it back for Melbourne United. Illy guarded by White. Travers wants Clark. Well done, McDaniel, bringing the heat again at the defensive end. And Jackie Dover just with an explanation here for Justin Schuller. A warning, in fact, for behavioural warning.
Yeah, he got after the officials there. No call, and Anna Krebs, the former bullet, just ripped the ball away.
Norton to McDaniel. Inside the last 2 minutes of an opening term, which has been quite an arm wrestle. Harrison goes back to White. He works inside Clark. Now to the elbow. Nothing on offer. Shut down. McDaniel from 3.
Amazing to see McDaniel's development in his offensive game continue to blossom under Coach Schuler. Just an opportunity now for him to continue to grow as an NBL player. It's great to see.
Rob Lowe pulls the trigger on the answering 3. Couldn't connect. 8-6 the rebound count in favour of Brisbane so far. White exploring. I like his aggression. Gets to the baseline. Overcooked it. So a chance for Travis. Clark and Krebs ahead of him. Illy joining in now. A little over a minute out from quarter time. There's Clark. And the mismatch on good hands. Excellent work there from Matthew Johns.
Really good job from Johns. He was in trouble. You know, it's a tough matchup. Matt Johns, the development player, the big guy, trying to stay within Clark, and the hands at the last moment to win back possession.
Norton to restart. Finds Sobey. The league's leading scorer still looking for his first points in this game. None of 5 from the field so far as we work inside the final 60 seconds of the opening quarter. Harrison, that's a little off balance there. Decided to flip it up and couldn't get it done. Hey, Melbourne get up the floor quickly. Flynn Cameron in the corner just checked into the game. Now Rob Lowe. Behind the back, 2 Kiwis combined. Illy baseline. Wouldn't work for him. Loose ball. Well done, Harrison.
Both teams doing a tremendous job right now early on of being very physical defensively and making the offensive player have to shoot over their hands.
Here's McDaniel picking up the dribble. Sobey overdue. Still no reply though. None of 6, including none of 3 from deep. Shot clock second inside the game clock here. They wanted to slow it down, Dean Vickerman. Krebs went early, and now they can slow it down for the last play. Illy picks up the dribble. Low works inside Harrison. They left him alone and he helps himself to 2 more. Casually puts a lid on 2. And it's tied away at 14 apiece. Delay of game warning called on Melbourne.
The poise from Rob Lowe. Just knew the clock, knew the situation, got right to his spot, floated it up and in.
Good contest. First versus 6th on the ladder. Harrison to Sobey, who gets to a spot, fires, can't connect. Well, we are tied away. They still haven't lost a first quarter, Melbourne, but they didn't win this one. They'll have to share the honours with Brisbane. Quarter time arrives at John Cain Arena, and it's Melbourne 14, Brisbane 14. More for you on a Sunday afternoon here in the Hungry Jacks, right after this. Thanks for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us. We're at John Cain Arena, and Melbourne United and the Brisbane Bullets tied at 14 apiece here in the opening quarter. And we're excited to welcome Mitsubishi Motors back this season. Fans are also celebrating here with us in the stadium with the Mitsubishi Motors three-pointer foam hands. And there's a range of prizes up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. So get involved. Great to have Mitsubishi back on board.
Sure is. And while it wasn't necessarily an offensive exhibition in that first quarter, both teams under 30%, 5 turnovers apiece, a tough grind of a defensive affair. Both coaches, no doubt, pretty happy with their group's efforts at the defensive end.
Well done, Brad Newley, adding the 2. Put Melbourne back in front. So there's a chance here for DJ Mitchell. He draws a foul on Newley. Let's get courtside for some reaction. Leonard Copeland.
Yeah, fellas, Coach Schuler just said we got to take care of the ball. I mean, 5 turnovers is way too many. He said we got to swing the ball, know where Rob Lowe is. And also, Liam, you spoke about it being a tough game. You got to remember both of these coaches played with each other, or coached with each other for a very long time. So they know they run the same thing. And they know each other back and forth.
Justin Schuler wants to put a stop to this. 5 quick points in 50 seconds out of quarter time. And Melbourne United enjoy the biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, Justin Schuler, furious. Absolutely furious. They come out of the quarter time huddle, and here it is, the turnover. Said, hey, we've got to look after the ball. And this is what it results in. The Melbourne United hunt 3-point looks off live ball turnovers, and he wants to chat about it.
Well, Justin Schuler, of course, back here against the coach that he was assistant to for 6 years and 2 championships. And he spoke about that pre-game.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's the longest I've sat in a car for 3 months. It's the coldest I've been in 3 months, but no, it is nice to come back. And, you know, obviously we're here to bounce back on a frustrating night for us the other night, and you know, great opportunity for us to come against a team we know is going to be well prepared, but really for us it's about testing ourselves and looking at ourselves and moving forward.
What are you expecting from these guys today?
Yeah, look, I know Reese will be over the other side as well. We've been roommates for a number of years now, and we've been picking my brain. So we know they'll know what kind of the sort of things we want to do. We absolutely know the strengths that they have, and I think that's going to be where the game is going to be won or lost, is can we counter enough to what they're trying to take away. So, yeah, good prep on that, and we'll see how we go.
Justin Schuler back here where he knows so well. He's not doing it solo, though, because he's got Daryl McDonald, an assistant coach formerly with Melbourne, by his side as well. What a champion of the game Daryl McDonald was as well. All-time leader in steals in the NBL. 3-time championship winner and 2nd in assists in the competition's history. So Brisbane looking to steady here. And from close range, Sobey opens his account.
Great ATO there from Coach Schuler, getting the draw, getting your best player the ball, and getting the basket. Hopefully that opens the floor up a little bit for Nathan Sobey tonight.
Here's Clark working to the elbow. Well done, Harrison. Saw what was coming next and blocked the shot. Now Scott, harassed by Clark, goes on with the dribble into traffic, bit off more than he could chew. And they turned it over now. 6 turnovers for Brisbane. Melbourne's got 5 in that category. Defense is on top from both sides. 90 seconds played, term number 2. It's Melbourne by 3. Dellavedova looking for his first field goal, finds the target.
Delly's massive this year from the three-point line. He's very aggressive coming off those ball screens. Got to change up the coverages a little bit there. They forced him left. He got into his rhythm three-point shot to open the scoring for him tonight.
Scott surveys his options, now draws a foul on Ian Clark. Going to be his first personal.
Better from the Bullets. Last couple of possessions, obviously the Dellavedova 3-point hit was nice, but stronger with the ball, getting through their stuff, executing. I love that, as you say, Sauce, the out of timeout execution was on point.
Harrison goes to Scott. Shot clock at 7. Smith feeds Sobey against Dellavedova. Now DJ Mitchell works baseline. 1 on the shot clock. They were patient and they came up with a play they wanted as Mitchell opens his account.
That's a tough basket right there from Mitchell. Getting to the basket downhill, kissing it off the glass. Love to see it.
Newley, baseline pass for Krebs, had the ball dislodged. Hook Porty working on Harrison. Tough shot that as well. Mickerman thought that there may have been some contact. Referees didn't see it that way. Mitchell isolated against Newley. Nice pass to Scott with an even better one to Harrison. Finishing touches wouldn't work. So up tempo as Dellavedova charges back in Melbourne's direction and wants to go again. Caught it short on the rim.
Two not great looks there from United, and you can see Coach Vickerman over there looking at the bench and seeing who's going to get some substitutions in because he's not happy with the shot selection.
Mitchell off the mark. Porty the rebound, and now Dellavedova brings United forward. 3 minutes played, term number 2. Melbourne by 4. Alley-oop play for Hook Porty for the flush.
Beautiful feathery pass from Dellavedova. Timed it to perfection. Set Hook Porty up above the rim.
All the way shot, all the bottom of the net there. Chris Smith, who had some talk for them as well. Well, Newley's pass picked off, showed too much of it to Harrison. Dellavedova to beat. The big man takes him on, and a blocking foul is caught on Dellavedova, who wants a challenge.
I don't know about that one, Case. It looked like he wasn't square right away. Well, obviously, we'll get the replay here and take a look at it. But, yeah, no, I think Harrison here, this is the pass behind there from Dellavedova up to Hook Porty for the slam. Great patience on the ball screen. Just get it up to the big fella anywhere by the rim. He's going to throw it down.
High percentage play.
Very much so.
4 points, 4 boards for Hook Porty. As you can see, Kelly straight away wanted to challenge it.
The contact down the side. I thought Harrison did a pretty good job trying to avoid it. This is the first free throw, which has the home crowd, Case, up and about.
He was 80% from the free throw line last season, Harrison, but just 63% this season. So Hungry Jack's on offer. He's just teasing the fans. He gets the back end.
He's been good in this first half. Tyrell Harrison got the 5 points. He's got the 7 rebounds, and I think he's played Hook Porty pretty tough.
Absolutely.
Golding steps outside the three-point line and knocks it down. That is impressive.
Chris Golding is the last guy on earth that you want to leave open and not know where he is. And a perfect example of them there of him just finding space and finding an ability to get that three-point shot off.
So the margin at 4, played 4 minutes in the second. Just coming unstuck here again, Brisbane. Melbourne, the foot on the accelerator, get the danger man involved again. Did everything but tumble there. Still Brisbane want to play this up-tempo style. Smith quickly up the floor, gets it from Sobey, bounces into Golding from close range, adds the 2. He's got 9 in the game to lead all scorers.
Doing a really good job, Chris Smith. Nathan Sobey a little subdued in this first half as Lowe drills the straightaway triple. And Melbourne dart out by 7.
Johns with it now. Norton wants Zakarski for the screen. And now it opens up for him. They stood off Norton. He couldn't make them pay, though. Zakarski with the offensive board in a confined space. Couldn't come up with an effective finish. So a chance for Dellavedova inside the last 5 minutes of a hectic first half. And the offensive foul has been assessed on Rob Lowe. It's going to be his first personal.
Here's the Harvey Norman replay. Chris Golding just gets his feet right, doesn't he? Makes sure he gets behind the line. They love to find him in transition. And Rob Lowe, the trail 3. Meanwhile, the players here, they're being told the wrong score. Scoreboard in the arena says 30-23. We've got 28-23 in case you think we're right.
I think we're right at this stage. That's a 4th team foul on Melbourne as well in this quarter. There's still 4.5 to play. They'll need to make that adjustment. Brisbane yet to commit a foul in this quarter. That looked like there was contact there, and heavy contact there between Cameron and Sobey, but both appear to be okay.
Body just flying everywhere to get started to this one here. It's physical. There's another attempt right there, and we see the big fella with a hand to the face of Rob Lowe.
Robbo, let's hope he's okay here. This is Travis. Travis, he lost the handle there against Zakarski, and Sobey and Flynn Cameron collided heavily. Now this pass, both Zakarski and Rob Lowe went for the same pass. And Rob Lowe took one to the face.
I think they were good no calls down this end of the floor. I think the ball spilled loose and on the initial contact. The Bullets, they've just missed Zakarski a couple of times over the top, not throwing it high enough. I dare say if it's gonna not get there, it's gonna probably because it's short sauce.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's massive, really long arms, good hands for a young fella. You gotta get the ball up for him.
Illy works to an opening and comes up with the points. We'll enjoy that after he was none of 6 on Friday night in Perth. Knocks down the 2 to extend the margin here for Melbourne United. A snooze timeout. Melbourne up 7 here. 30-23, 4:05 to play. This has been hectic.
Yeah, really hectic, really physical, back and forth. A lot of good basketball being played, but I'm sure Justin Schuler's talking to his team now and saying they got to do a better job on the defensive end.
Chris Smith has been great today. 9 points so far. We've got a special feature coming up at halftime. Here's a taste for you.
Everyone knows Australia, the competition here is just very good and lives up to its reputation. This is my first country where I can speak English to people, so this is something new. I try my best to be as consistent as possible, and I feel like that's gonna pay off.
29-year-old Chris Smith, an interesting story to tell, playing in Japan most recently. 17 points a game at 44% from deep. He can fill it up, and he's done it in Poland, Hungary, France, been all around the world.
And to add some extra context to the NBL viewers, that 17 points per game last season was on a team with Vic Law and with John Mooney. So high-level teammates, and he was putting points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the Japanese B-League is becoming one of the more known leagues around the world, and for him to be able to have those numbers on that great team, as well as the championship pedigree that he brings after getting a couple championships there, is massive for this Bullets team.
Celebs in the house as well here, John Cain Arena. And Brisbane looking to work their way back into the equation here. Down 7 inside 4 minutes to go in the first half. Norton against Flynn Cameron, patient with it. Shot clock rolls now to 5. Needs to get something happening. Zakarski lob pass. They asked a lot on him, and Rob Lowe was equal to the challenge. Cameron pushes wide away. Now feeds Lowe, who's ready to go. Unable to finish it though. McDaniel the rebound. Again, low-scoring quarter. Brisbane have added just 9 points in this term as Norton feeds Isaac White in the corner. He's off the mark. Norton gets it back again. Quick release and first score of the game for Mitch Norton.
Comes up with 1%. Mitch Norton, nice find into the corner for the open three-point look. And then, you know, he's always hanging around, ready to pick up the mess and finishes the play.
Rob Lowe, they've left him alone again, this time off the mark. Zakarski the rebound. 1 of 4 from long range for Rob Lowe. Melbourne 5 of 14 as a team, as McDaniel has the ball stripped from him, and they'll get it back with 14 on the shot clock, Brisbane.
So these open three-point looks for Rob Lowe are a problem. Can't do it. You either switch the screen, or if you're in drops coverage, like Zakarski is there, late via switch, the guard has to go back and contest Rob Lowe.
Yeah, but it's going to be on Zakarski to be very vocal about letting that guard know that it's time to switch when the time is there. And so definitely some communications there. You see the coaching staff talking to Zakarski there to see what they want to do with the Rob Lowe matchup, but definitely got to make some adjustments.
Norton goes on with the dribble. Can't convert. Harrison crashes the boards. It's scooped up by Dellavedova. Chance for Melbourne to expand their margin. It's up 7 at the moment. Clark just slipped. Norton gets after it on the deck, feeds Mitchell, got White in support. McDaniel joining in. Contact between Mitchell and Dellavedova. No whistle forthcoming. And players slow to get back to their feet. McDaniel just clutching his elbow, and Dellavedova's still down on his knees.
This is a war. The physicality, the contact here. Clark just slips, loses the handle. And 3-on-1 opportunity. Really should have scored. No call there. No call there. Oh, McDaniel has nowhere to land, and there's bodies all over the joint.
Mind you now, this is 2 teams that are coming off of games earlier this week, so this is the second game in the weekend for them. And so a lot of physicality, maybe getting through some of that rust and fatigue that they're feeling, and bodies are just hitting the floor at a crazy rate right now.
Dellavedova is a tough customer. He's going to the bench. Dean Vickerman calls time out here. And Melbourne have got this scenario for the next 2 weekends as well, where they play Friday, then they're going to have to back up on the road on Sunday. So it's hectic for them, but that's just the nature of the Hungry Jacks NBL, and that's why it's so important to have all your crew fit and healthy. And the good news for Phoenix fans is that Alan Williams could be making the trip to Adelaide for the game against the 36ers on Thursday.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm feeling good and want to be out there with my teammates and be able to contribute to winning on the basketball floor. And so put a lot of work in these past couple of weeks to get back healthy, and hopefully I'm back out there with the guys soon.
You've got some history with Shannon Scott, who's playing for Brisbane here as well. You know him quite well. He had 11 assists in the game against Sydney on Friday night. Leads the competition in assists and steals. 7 assists, 4 steals. Is he the best facilitator in the NBL at the moment?
Yeah, I think he might be. You know, anywhere Shannon's played, one thing about him that everyone can say is he's been solid. And as we see our old Long Island Nets highlights there of me getting some buckets. But no, a lot of the opportunities that I was able to have on that team was set up from Shannon. His ability to just be steadfast, always steady, always solid. Great hands and great vision. He's a great leader out there on the floor.
It's like an NBL all-star team.
No, it was
just like, I mean, Will Weaver, the head coach, Mitch Creek running the lane.
Yeah. Tajir McCall on that team as well. No, we had a lot of good pieces, a lot of good guys, and so it's great that the NBL has brought us all back together.
There's Daryl Corletto, of course, from the Melbourne Tigers past, and actually played a season with United as well. Spent some time in New Zealand in the Legends box, and of course the Tigers' 1993 championship is going to be remembered in a couple of weeks, the 30th anniversary. All the team coming back. I think Andrew Gaze is going to be in commentary and filling in the gaps for everyone, but really looking forward to seeing that nostalgia shared. And it's never not good to be seeing Chris Goulding knocking down threes. He's up to 9 in the game.
Justin Schuller looked down at his former head coach, Dean Vickerman, and just gave him a little message. They come out, mix up the defense, and Melbourne United were ready for it.
Double-figure lead for the first time in the game. Sobey can't connect. Travis hands over to Illy, and they are running the floor here. Melbourne United, well done, Harrison. Diffused it for the moment, but Goulding from almost the halfway line.
Oh, my goodness. He steps in the gym, and he's open. Doesn't matter where he's shooting it from. Could be the logo, could be half court. This probably got a good chance of going in. Wow.
Coming off a great game in Perth where he had 18 points, including 4 triples, Chris Goulding. So he's up to 12 here with 4 of 6 from deep. McDaniel, his shot off the mark. 13-point margin. Just 11 points for Brisbane here in this second quarter. Melbourne have put the clamps on them and been able to get their offense just functioning a little more efficiently.
It's been a disaster the second term here for Brisbane. And, you know, we talked about it before. You got to guard the 3-point line. Now, it's tough when you got to guard the halfway line. When Chris Goulding's just catching and splashing from this kind of territory. But the offensive rebound, the kick out, that's when shooters like Goulding are oh so dangerous.
And Nathan Sobey, just 2 points in the game for him on 1 of 8 shooting. Their leading scorer. This is Smith, steps inside Travers, controlled it well against Hukporti, but just couldn't make it fit. And Melbourne get another stop.
And for all that we've talked about in Chris Goulding and his 3-point shooting ability and his ability to open it up right now, I think on the defensive end tonight, he's been really, really solid guarding the basketball, keeping his guy in front of him and contesting to make them shoot tough twos.
Oh, active hands, well done. Scott just couldn't control it though. Illy goes back to Goulding, who's ready to fire once more, and he is on a tear.
So he's a game breaker, and he's broken this thing apart in the first half. 5 of 7 from long range now for Goulding.
16-point margin after scores were tied at quarter time. Big problems for Brisbane. Shot clock rolls to 5. Sobey needs to get going. Answering 3 is all the bottom of the net. So Melbourne with the last save. Up 13, Travers stumbles past it. Goulding not right where he needed it. Deflected out of court. Melbourne has got 3 on the clock. Dean Vickerman's calling time out here. They'll draw up a play.
He might as well use it. He got it, and it's going to disappear at half-time. And here is Chris Goulding just hunting 3-point looks now at this stage. Source, he's feeling it.
Yeah, just know after any offensive rebound, loose ball, anything kind of going on the United offensive end, he's circling around. He's hunting that three. Like you said, Liam, earlier in the game, they hunt three-point shots, and he's the best one that we have in the competition.
Snooze timeout called by Dean Vickerman. 3.2 back on the clock here. This was an arm wrestle in that opening quarter, but second quarter honours certainly with Melbourne United. 27 points in this turn.
And Golding, really the difference. You know, 4 second quarter triples. He's the only guy in the ball game in double figures. He's got 15. So for the Bullets in the locker room pre-game, keep the clamps on Chris Golding. You got to guard the three-point line, Golding and Ian Clark, and that hasn't been done here in the second quarter. For Melbourne, it's, hey, let's try to limit Nathan Sobey, and he's had a tough time of it over these first 2 quarters.
And that's the problem when you're relying heavily on the league's leading scorer, Nathan Sobey. As I say, 25 points a game. So he's improved that from 15 last season, the dominant scorer. And when he's scoring, that's great. But is it sustainable?
Yeah, you know, he has the skill to be able to do it night in and night out, but is that the best course of action for the Brisbane Bullets to get to where they want to go? I'm not really sure. You know, I'd love to see a more balanced scoring attack, but he's obviously great at it. So
here's Lowe. Clock going off in the background. He wanted a blocking call. Halftime arrives. In fact, they have called a foul. It is a blocking foul. Now DJ Mitchell. So DJ Mitchell picks up the foul.
And a really well drawn up play. You know, fake the handoff. They know the defense is thinking three-point shot. Use Golding as a decoy, and Rob Lowe with the keeper. He gets to the free throw line.
0.8 back onto the clock. Rob Lowe to the free throw line for the first time in the game. 5 of 6 on the season at 83%. That's another area of the game that he's exceptional at. Spoke with him on the flight back from Perth yesterday. Asked him if he was going to stick around, and he smiled. He said, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Who knows? And he's playing that well. It'd be crazy not to find a spot somewhere for him.
There you go. All right. Well, so he's the nominated replacement player.
For Joe Luala-Chul.
Would take another injury for him to be able somewhere across the roster, for him to be able to suit up.
So a baseball pass from Brisbane. Oh, Golding bump, wanted to whistle, and might have had a case, but can't get any joy from Mitch Hare there. And halftime arrives here, and Chris Golding has torn this game up in the second quarter to give his team a 15-point lead.
Marginal contact, and then you flop. There is no foul.
No foul, says Michael Aylan.
I watched it live.
Well, Golding 15 points on 5 of 7 from deep has put Melbourne right in the driver's seat here at half-time. Let's get see if we can get a word as well with the man. Here's the bump again. Incidental contact, and then you flop, said Michael Aylan. Let's get Chris's version of events. He's with Leonard Copeland.
Chris dogfighting that first quarter, but you found a way to open it up in the second quarter.
Yeah, we lucked out on D. Leonard, we got out and ran. We got some stops. Focused on defense. Got lucky with a couple of their shots. Didn't go in, and then we can get out and run. That's what we want to do.
You weren't happy about that last call?
When am I ever happy about a call?
Good luck in the second half.
At least he can smile about it now, Chris Golding. He's turned it on here. Trust you're enjoying our coverage. It's Melbourne 43, Brisbane 28. More Hungry Jacks NBL on your Sunday afternoon in just a moment.
Well, here's something a little bit special for us. It's kind of our Melbourne United Super Sundays here at John Yeah, it looks pretty good. Is that right there? That sounded like it was trying to get in.
I hate birds too. Crows and magpies. Yeah. I hate them all. I'm from Sacramento, California. This is my 8th year pro. Started my journey in Europe, then my way to Japan, and now I'm in Australia. This is my first country where I can speak English to people, so this is something new. I just had a baby. Man, it's amazing. This is my 2nd child, but having it all over again, the process, it's an amazing feeling, but it's also very stressful at times, but it's all worth it at the end.
Smith pulls the trigger. It goes!
The competition of the NBL, I mean, everyone knows the competition here is just very good and lives up to its reputation. I try my best to be as consistent as possible, and my shooting and all around everything. I feel like that's gonna pay off.
Need to go quick. Smith makes it! It's game! Unreal! Cometh the hour, cometh the man, Chris Smith.
We really go after each other in practice. More than any other team I've probably played professional. We're hungry for it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, you look right there, it's fantastic having Chris Smith in the league, and of course fantastic. The 1-month anniversary is beautiful, little baby there. Leonard, these are the good stories you have in the league right now for the Brisbane Bullets. There's the good news, but the bad news is they're down 15 at the half.
Down 15 thanks to one man, Chris Golding. He got hot in that 2nd quarter, and he shot the ball extremely well, 5 for 7 from the 3-point line, and he got him over the top.
Well, we'll have a look at Brisbane first, trailing by 15, but the shining light for them has been the man that we just saw the feature on there, Chris Smith, 9 points in the half, and I'll tell you what, he's getting a reputation as a guy that hits big, tough shots.
He's a smooth shooter. I love the way he releases the ball. Nice and high, lets it go. And every time he shoots the ball, the bench stands up as if he's going to make it. So he must be very good in practice.
Well, he's potentially going to have to step up in this 2nd half as well, because Nathan Sobey just struggling at the moment, 2 for 9 from the field.
He is struggling, but that's the defense of Melbourne United. Again, they did a great job on Cotton, and you would think that they're going to come out and play defense on Sobey because he's leading the league in scoring.
Well, the Munwainer, you've been waiting to talk about 15 points at the half, and speaking about tough shots, Chris Golding has led from the front for Melbourne United so far, but we're in a familiar place we were last week when Melbourne dropped the game.
The difference is you got to continue to feed him the ball. He's a shooter, we know it. He can score. He can't come out in the 2nd half and only have 1 shot. That's going to hurt him.
Well, of course, the 2nd half that Leonard refers to against the Jack Jumpers last Sunday, Chris Golding in a similar position, shooting hot. He only got 1 shot attempt in the 2nd half, but we do have news coming through that Matthew Dellavedova is going to be out with concussion for the rest of the game. We'll show you the incident shortly. A bit innocuous, but of course, Delly out with those concussion protocols, and it's going to be up to Chris to maintain this with a little bit more pressure in the 2nd half.
Absolutely, but the good thing is they got Ian Clark coming off the bench who can step in to that spot, play good defense, and shoot the ball as well.
We'll have a look at the Blackmore shot chart. highlight for Chris Goulding here, because so many times as shooters you hear, it was the guy that got me the ball. They found me in the right spots. For Chris Goulding, no, he's catching this in tough spots and still making it.
I'm a Chris Goulding fan, man. He's been an amazing shooter his whole career. I just think he doesn't get enough shots, but it's hard on this team because there's so much talent and you have to spread that ball around.
Well, it's going to be a tough second half for United with Matthew Dellavedova, their star point guard, ruled out for the rest of this contest. And we look at the incident here. Didn't look too much at the time. We weren't sure, was it a leg, was it a chest, what was going on? But you can see there, any little hit to the head, he came up groggy, went straight to the locker room.
Absolutely. I think he came down right on his head. And when he walked off, he was really, really red. So I knew it was something wrong. I just didn't know it was going to be a concussion.
Concern levels for Melbourne. Of course, Delhi's such a pivotal point, but Chris Goulding's firing. Is this the chance where we really get to see what Ian Clark's capable of?
Well, we know what he's capable of. He's a winner, and he plays the game the right way. You know, I just think now he gets an opportunity to shoot the ball a little bit more. He gets an opportunity to play more, and he has to play some defense.
Well, it's a 15-point lead for Melbourne United. Chris Goulding, the star of the first half. Stick around. Plenty to come up next.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena. Round 3 of the Hungry Jacks NBL continuing here between Melbourne United and Brisbane. A little later it's Sydney versus Perth, but United have the job done at the moment. And in terms of getting the job done, well, no one gets the job done more than Larry Kesselman. Record crowds through the first and second round of the tournament. The Blitz just went berserk. You're up there, Liam, and that went really well as well. And Celebs everywhere you turn. There's Boomer Harvey, one of the legends of the AFL in the Pumped by Reebok seats. And a number of boys up there as well. Danny Minot, Tanya Zayeda, and Billy Brownless, James Brayshaw in the Pumped by Reebok seats as well. It's Boomer Harvey talking about getting the job done, Liam. He could.
All-time leader, games played, I think. AFL, yeah. Took over Michael Tuck, so yeah, and there's...
Puffin Billy?
Sure, enjoying what was a fun first half. And as Melbourne locals, no doubt enjoying the Chris Golding show.
Yep.
In that second quarter, which I'm sure Justin Schuller will have talked a lot about at halftime.
Yeah, a little tidbit there with JV and Billy over there. I've been on their Triple M Rush Hour show now a couple of times, so good to see them in the building. And always good to expand the game of basketball here in Australia.
Exactly right. Well, one thing that Brisbane are going to have to do is find some points. 28 at the half, lowest scoring half this season.
Well, we spoke about that earlier, didn't we, Case? You got to execute against this Melbourne United team. You got to look after the ball, and you got to get good shots. 11 turnovers in that first half.
Came in averaging 91 a game, Brisbane, and they've been restricted to 28 at half-time. Melbourne's D is all over them at the moment, but it's Brisbane with a possession arrow as we get underway. Term number 3. Asobi goes to work. That was off glass. Should be a goaltend. Should count the 2. I thought Hook Porty got that after it had touched. So they're going to count the 2 for Sobey. That's the start they needed.
Yeah, good execution. Harrison early on the screen. So good contact, and Sobey able to get the advantage.
Great intention there, going to your 2 best players in this game right now with Sobey and Harrison in an early empty side pick and roll, so Sobey can get downhill.
Ian Clark starts the second half in the absence of Matthew Dellavedova, who was concussed during that second quarter. Now scored on Shannon Scott, his first personal in the game. Kept Sobey quiet. Shannon Scott, 3 turnovers, just 1 assist. And the leading assist in the competition after 11 on Friday night. They've done a good job to contain him as well. Clark finds Travers ready to go in the corner, or the bottom of the net.
Well, that just adds a whole nother dimension. Not only to his individual game, Luke Travers, but to Melbourne United as a team. If you can't leave him open as well as all these other 3-point shooters.
2 of 10 before today's game from deep. The pass deflected there by Porty, but it got to Harrison. Adds another 2, so 7 in the game now for Harrison to go with 7 boards.
Great hands and eye contact and the focus on that finish from Harrison. That's a tough pass to catch, but he's found a way to get it in his hands and put it in the basket.
Golding, good screen from Hook Porty, got away from Sobey. Now Travers puts it on the deck against Mitchell. Contact, no whistle. Stayed with it. Illy, Golding, shot clock at 5. Golding tried to bank one home.
And it's my understanding that banks in Australia are closed on Sunday. Maybe the reason why I didn't have that one to fall.
Here's Scott. Sobey. Again, the harassing defense from Melbourne, just giving Brisbane nothing to work with, and again they're going to have to fire this in a busted play. 5 on the shot clock. Scott off the mark. They've got the facilitator taking the shot, so another small win there for Melbourne. Shea Illy took his eye off the ball. Scoops it back up though. Now draws contact. Now going to be called on Brisbane. Free throws to come here. Fouls on Shannon Scott, so he's going to get a second.
These fouls early in the quarter. Now they come back to bite you. That's the challenge. Can you defend at a high level without fouling? You got to be physical. You got to slide your feet. You got to keep them off the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. The only way Brisbane are going to get back in this game, as we see Shea Illy here drawing the foul from Shannon Scott. The only way Brisbane are going to be able to get back into this game is by stringing together stop after stop after stop and getting really solid and consistent on the defensive end.
Shea Illy gets to the free throw line more than any other player for Melbourne United. 15 of 17 coming into this game. I mentioned his work at the World Cup from the free throw line. 25 of 27. Top 10 in the competition at the World Cup and 3rd in assists at 7 a game as well. Had a great tournament for New Zealand. And they enjoy a 16-point buffer at the moment, Melbourne United. An incumbent on Brisbane to be proactive here. Sobey lost the handle. Illy's got it. Not going to help ahead of him though, but he's not discouraged. Bounces into the foul. It's called on Chris Smith.
Just outstanding defensive play from Shea Illy. They went back to that same action that they opened the half with, the Bullets, and Illy was ready for it, and then he just took Nathan Sobey's cookies.
Second personal on Smith. Third team foul on Brisbane after just 2 minutes of this quarter. That was...
Chris Smith is a solid built guy, and so getting to the basket and taking it right through his chest there maybe hurt Illy a little bit.
A reminder, it's Sydney against Perth coming your way a little later today. Great contest between some MVPs. Rice has won 3 of those. Jalen Adams in 2022.
Oh, there's a bunch of talent that's going to be on display on that court. Those guys, of course, the headline act, but a couple of next stars as well, who are both playing at a very high level. Alexander Sarr, all kinds of buzz right across the basketball landscape, but Alex Tui, just quietly, fellas, off to a very nice start to his pro career.
Super talented, super talented. Whistle off the ball here. Foul going to be called on Shea Illy. Going to be his first personal, first team foul on Melbourne in this quarter. Alex Tui's been so exciting. An excellent job up in Brisbane on Friday night. And Andrew Gaze's commentary going viral, I think, at one stage. something about a rotisserie. That's what Brisbane can come up with here. Mitchell stops and pops, can't get it to go. Cordy grabs the board. Got 7 of those now. And it's Melbourne by 18. Got this under control for the moment. There's Travers. Works on Mitchell. Clark goes down off the ball. Illy. Double team, lob pass for Travers. Shot clock to 4. Wraparound pass to the danger man in the corner. He's knocked down, taking the 3. Foul is going to be on Smith. His third, and Golding to the free throw line for the first time in the game.
You hate to see it. First and foremost, a phenomenal pass from Luke Travers there to see Golding in the corner. But as a defender, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. The last thing you want to do is put Chris Golding on the line, shoot 3 free throws.
Just 3 of 5 from the free throw line this season. 60% Golding in the 4 games that Melbourne have played. And when you take a look at their season, beating the Phoenix by 15, beating Adelaide by 8, had Tasmania where they wanted them but couldn't close it out and lost by 5, and then winning in Perth. So it's a bright start to the season with Joe Luala-Chul to come back into the lineup.
And they're not lighting up the scoreboard either, Case.
Defense.
It really has been a terrific start to the season at the defensive end. Obviously the #1 ranked defense in terms of efficiency, and it's, you know, it's what championship teams are made of in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as Chris Golding makes the free throw, their length defensively from all the positions. You got Dellavedova and Illy in the backcourt, really aggressive pressure. And then on the back end there, on the front court, you have your length with Travers and Cordy. It's tough to score against this United front.
Here's Sobey. They came from everywhere and talked him out of the points, and Travers charging back up the floor. Finds Shea Illy. So played a tick over 3 minutes in the third here. Again, they put the clamps on Brisbane. Cordy goes to work. Nice assist from Shea Illy. We enjoyed it. Brisbane do not. Justin Schuller says, time out, fellas. We need to chat about this. The margin is continuing to grow. It's out to 21 as Ariel Hukporti jumps into your lounge room.
Here it is on the Harvey Norman replay. Beautifully timed, little drop off. Now, just maybe got away with a little travel. The gather step in full effect here for Ariel Hukporti. And then he rises up and knows what to do with it.
Well, let's get to Felix von Hoff, who's working the sidelines here with us today. He's got a special guest.
Thanks, Case. I'm with one of the most lovable people in AFL media, the face of the Triple M Rush Hour, Billy Browners. Now, mate, I don't think that little clapper has left your hand the entire game.
Actually, I think I've broken it, but it's fantastic. Good energy from the crowd. The players are feeling that. Get it in Goldie's hands, and we get, what do they call that? 3-point shot. Yeah, that's it, yeah. That's what we want.
Get more than now. Chris Golding's your man. He's been on Triple M.
Yeah.
Brendan Favola looked down the camera last week and he said, Jelly, give the ball to Chris Golding. Boy, it's happening tonight, isn't it?
It has. Give it to him. He was actually too close before for those little 2-pointers. He's got to go out. He's got to go out the 3-pointer. Come on, Goldie.
Come on, Golding, back to you, Case.
Good on you, Felix. Oh, Billy Brownless, he's full of beans. You would have had fun working with the Triple M rush hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys are amazing, man. They bring the news to Melbourne during the rush hour and the sporting news, and so much great energy. Obviously, ambassadors of the sport here in Australia. So it's just phenomenal to have everybody in the gym tonight for the game.
We mentioned both these teams played on Friday night. You wonder about fatigue. Is there an advantage? Brisbane played at home and travelled. Melbourne travelled and then get to play at home. Does it work one way or the other? Is it better?
I don't think so necessarily. I mean, think about Melbourne had to come back from Perth. You got the time zone differences that they had to deal with. That's a long, tough trip. I don't know that there's a lot in that sauce.
No, not too much. You know, obviously, with the double games on the weekends, you're going to have times where you travel twice or travel once, and you just try to find your rhythm and those kind of things to keep yourself feeling fresh. And I think there's a perfect example here. Melbourne and Brizzy both started off kind of tough, kind of lethargic at the beginning, but obviously Melbourne found their legs here and been able to blow this one open.
Matesy again from Melbourne forced McDaniel into a tough shot with the shot clock expiring. We played 4 minutes here in this third quarter, and they got just 4 points, Brisbane, as Golding. Oh, looked inside. Now, Hook Porty ran into DJ Mitchell, who's going to be called for the foul. I think they had vision of one another. We'll get a look at it here.
Boom! Oh, ouch. I can't see where that would be necessarily a basketball play. Obviously, Hook Porty's been getting on the rim here pretty easily, but that's one way to stop him, I guess.
Was he protecting himself, though? Was he not stationary?
You say no whistle, Case?
He looked stationary to me, and it appeared that he was bracing himself for a contact because Hook Porty was not looking in his direction, wasn't aware he was there.
There's a big fella, Sauce, who likes to roll towards the rim.
I need that foul, Case. I need that foul call, especially if I'm rolling without being able to see there. Obviously, DJ Mitchell is entitled to his space, but as I'm rolling to the basket with motion, to stand me up like that, it's definitely got to be a foul.
Well, you know a whole lot better than me, Sauce. I'll defer to you on that one every single time. Here's Harrison looking for a dunk of his own. Hook Porty wasn't buying it, but called for the foul. And they're playing above the rim here as well. And Team Vickers are just saying, are we sure about this?
Goes up straight, gets a whole bunch of bullets. Have a look. That's a no call.
I love it. I absolutely love to see the next star, Hook Porty, getting up there, contesting it at the rim. That's something he's going to have to do at the next level if he wants to make that NBA jump. You can see it here. Obviously, the foul was called, but you got to love the intention of saying, no way, no easy buckets in my house.
And as a player, you embrace that Sauce if you're playing against him?
Playing against him, I want to be able to create contact, maybe put an elbow or a shoulder into the chest to kind of get him to fold over and make the referee make that call. But as a United guy, I'm sure those guys are really revving him up and telling him to continue to do that job that he's doing in protecting the basket.
From a Brisbane perspective, desperately need a couple of points. Man, they have been on complete lockdown.
Just 6 in this quarter for them. They're 2 of 6. They just haven't been able to get shots as well. Here's Clark. And the floater bounces off the rim and tumbles. His second field goal. So the margin back to 22. In double figures since the second period. Middle stages of the third. Norton with a penetration against Krebs. Ran into a dead end. Here's Travers. Krebs in support, McDaniel on his hip. They get it outside for the open look, and he comes up with a good Tanner Krebs, his first score in the game.
Well, they're having a party. They are having a very good time, Melbourne United, here on their home floor. Ramping up the defense, running off stops, and then everyone getting involved. There's the hustle from McCourty, the push from Luke Travers. And Tanner Krebs says, thank you very much. Happy to knock it down from long range.
16-6 is the run since half-time in favour of Melbourne. And this is without Matthew Dellavedova, just joined us, who was concussed in the second quarter.
And that's after a 29-14 second term. So Brisbane have found it really tough to score ever since quarter time. And that's after a 14-point first quarter. So it has been a tough afternoon at the office, at the offensive end.
White, good screen from Harrison. to an opening and wanted to pass it. Eventually forced to take a tough shot, came up empty. So their offensive woes continue as Golding shakes Mitchell, works to a spot. Wasn't far away. 4.5 left in the third. Another big screen from Mitchell. That time on Golding. Here's Isaac White working on Clark. Harrison again. The hustle from Melbourne is terrific, forcing Brisbane into a tough shot. Now Travers had that knocked out of his hands, and Brisbane will get it back.
Every single shot that Brisbane are taking is contested. It's amazing to see United fly around. Even if they get beat, they recover. They're using their length to contest every single shot that Brisbane are taking, and it's too hard for Brisbane to score right now.
So they're 2 of 8 from the field, Brisbane. They have not taken a 3 in this quarter. And now they do, as Isaac White fires. No reply for him, and they put a stop to it again. So 24-20 is the rebound count in favour of Melbourne. Looking after the ball better, shooting the ball better, doing everything better at the moment. Lead by 25. And Travers looking to extend that. Late whistle. Mitchell called for the foul, so it's going to be his 4th personal. Free throws to come.
Well, he's had a tough time of it. DJ Mitchell trying to do the right things defensively, but getting called for the whistle. So just 2 points on the afternoon and 4 fouls. Schuler desperately trying to find answers. Now that's a guy right there, Nathan Sobey, who they need to try to get going. Obviously they're a long way down here, 25 down, but you know, when you've only scored 34 points over the first 26 minutes of the game, somebody's got to start putting points on the board.
And Sobey 3 of 11 from the field, so 1 of 2 in this quarter. Obviously on the bench at the moment, but the margin continues to grow here. 46-20 since quarter time. There's been a landslide from Melbourne United. Brisbane just can't go with them at the moment. So Mitch Norton running the point for Brisbane. Uses Smith, guarded by Krebs. Works to the baseline, Chris Smith, and knocks down the shot. Enjoyed his game today. He's into double figures now with 11, and only Golding with 16 has more.
Really smooth there. Saw he had a matchup he liked and wanted to take advantage of. Got to his spot, pulled up and knocked down the shot. That's something they're definitely going to need if they want to try to get back into this game, Case.
Doing it at the defensive end as well. Smith hands over to Zakarski, takes on Rob Lowe, a little out of control. Points waved away. It's an offensive foul, and Rob Lowe getting it done again.
Well, you could see it coming. Rob Lowe, the veteran savvy, he knew Zakarski was coming downhill. And just need a little bit more poise there, the big fella. You see the defense in front, catch it, spin back to the middle here, get to the righty hook. In the end, he just tried to barrel through Lowe for the bucket.
Also on the way back, too, you see Chris Smith raised his hand up and said, hey, that's my bad. He put his big fella in a bad position, knows he should have probably dribbled it out and set up the offense.
So Flynn Cameron into the game again as well. Takes on White. Aggressively to the hoop. Got it to Rob Lowe, but he couldn't connect from close range. It's Isaac White now. He's none of 4 from the field. Trying to get something happening in the offensive end. Tough shot. Again, it was Melbourne's D. Talk him out of the points. Johns had it wrestled away by Clark. A good battle between them as well.
Yeah, no, you love to see the scrappiness. Ball's on the ground. Guys are going to get it. Everybody's diving. You can see how much United really wants this. Even with the margin now, they're not satisfied. They want more and more, and so they're playing their heart out.
Fans love that endeavor as well, don't they?
Oh, for sure. The fans are loving the show that they're watching this afternoon as their home team just putting the absolute clamps on the Bullets. Of course, they enjoyed Chris Golding lighting it up in the second quarter, but the effort and the energy defensively has been on high ever since opening tip.
It has certainly been. Missed the finals last year, only the 3rd time in their 9 seasons. Missing out on percentage, dug themselves a hole they couldn't get out of toward the end of the season. And they are looking to bounce back here. 2-time championship winners, runners up in 19 as well as those championships in 2021 and 2018. regular season champions on a couple of occasions. Not being in the finals is not something that the Melbourne United fans are accustomed to, and they didn't like the taste of it last season.
Dean Vickerman and their group, their coaching staff, their front office, their ownership went back to the drawing board and said, all right, what type of team do we want to put it together next season? And they focused in on high-level local talent to begin with. And you're bringing in Luke Travers, and obviously you're bringing Hook Porty, not a local, but a next star back from injury. Bring back Matthew Dellavedova. We want a team that's going to lock down defensively, and then
JLA
we can build up from here.
Bringing back JLA, and in that sense, yeah, definitely big something.
Another piece still to come in.
Now, 8 new faces this year. Moved on 11 players in the off-season. So complete rework, and it's paying dividends here at the moment. They look strong, and so does this man look strong. Scott. Not his best game, but he is really turning it on for Brisbane this season. Let's hope that's a start of something good. This is Cameron. Decides to go solo. Couldn't finish it low. The offensive rebound in traffic, trying to release the ball, goes back to Krebs. Inside 2 minutes left, term number 3. Krebs against White, forces his way down low. Skimmed across the rim, wouldn't fall. And now a foul going to be called, would appear, on Matthew Johns. Free throws to come here for United.
It was a good effort defensively there by the Bullets. The scramble was good. Isaac White stayed in front of Tanner Krebs on this drive here. Really did everything he could, forced the fadeaway, and then Matt Johns goes to block out. But as soon as you face up and hold that man away from the bucket, the refs are going to call that.
Melbourne have got 7 players who have been to the free throw line. Brisbane just 2. And they had 6 free throws at half-time, Melbourne, so they've taken 15 here in the third. It's just been a dominant display. Rob Lowe misses the back end there. So he gets after the loose ball. Hands over to Shannon Scott. Scott against Cameron. Pass found Sikorsky, reeled it in. The shot wouldn't work from close range. So under 3 now for Big Rocco. The 3 boards. Cameron got past Scott. Lowe puts it on the deck. Back to Golding. Making Brisbane hustle at the defensive end here, Melbourne. Golding for Lowe. Jane gets a good look, this time off the mark. So the margin 24, a little over a minute out from 3/4 time. Sikorsky turns. Oak is in some latitude now. He wants to muscle his way inside. Nothing on offer. Back to Isaac White. Shot clock to 5 and beyond. Well done, Golding and Lowe. Shot clock about to expire. Gets it off, but unsuccessfully. Johns keeps it alive. Scott goes quickly, pulls the trigger. That's how you do it.
And that's how they're going to be able to get back into this game, by knocking down some three-point shots. Shannon Scott, as solid as he always is, finds an opening and gets the 3 to go.
Cameron takes on Sikorsky, who got a piece of the action. Flynn stayed with it, though, and Cameron now splashes the shot. Went down afterwards as well. Nice finish. Got all the answers here, Melbourne. It's 11 threes now, 48% in the game. Shot clock some 6 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward 3/4 time. And Michael Aylan with the explanation. We'll just clear the floor there, make it safe for the players. It's a particularly appealing offensive set from Brisbane, but again, it was credit to Melbourne's D.
And just a heads-up play here from Flynn Cameron. Keeps his feet in the floor. Yeah, he got his shots in. But stayed with the play, collected it up, and then drained the corner triple.
So 5 threes on the season now for Flynn Cameron. 55%, so he's been effective from there. Hits it, Scott, just a little too deep with it. Kept alive. Sikorsky, the offensive rebound, and now Shannon Scott's hit 3 triples here in 2 minutes. Right on the 3/4 time buzzer. They just grabbed something to work with, but it's a big hole for Brisbane to dig themselves out of. But they are coming. It's 3/4 time at John Cain Arena, and it's Melbourne United who enjoy a very healthy 21-point lead. Melbourne 66, Brisbane 45. More on your Sunday afternoon hoops in just a moment. back to John Cain Arena. Melbourne United have a home fan of the game, receive a team-signed ball. Group of kids there are going to get involved and share the love. This happens at all Melbourne United home games only. So get involved, get to a game here in Melbourne if you can. Nice prize. Maybe that's a championship-winning basketball for this season.
A lot of water to go under the bridge.
Let's see what Brisbane can come up with as we go to Leonard Copeland courtside for some three-quarter time reaction.
Yeah, Shulo just wants to crash the boards. He wants to get it up, shoot as many threes as possible, get a rebound, kick it out, let's get it up and make it ugly.
Thanks to Leonard Copeland. Here's Shea Ely wide open from deep, and he'll enjoy that as well. He's had his shooting woes, just 2 of 16 from long range this season. It's on the improve.
When you're getting it going the way that Melbourne United are going right now, everybody has a lot of confidence, and so you can throw the percentages out the window. Shea Ely gets the open shot, and he knocks it down.
Harrison bounces into low. Melbourne wanted a travelling violation. Dean Vickerman with an animated explanation here for referee Mitch Hare. Harvey Norman replay will give us a better look at it.
There's the three-point shot from Illy, the spacing, beautiful, the extra pass from Rob Lowe. And that's a guy he shot 40% from three the last 3 years in a row. So some early season struggles, but he's turned himself into a very good shooter.
Tough shot from Shannon Scott, but when it's your time, it is happening. Shannon Scott's now 3 of 3 from long range, has 11 points, and no one has more for Brisbane. Maybe they've counted it as a 2. This is Rob Lowe from deep. That rattles around the rim. Melbourne are at 50% from long range. Doing a great job as TJ Mitchell hands over. Smith, he elevates. Some ISO going on here at the moment. As Travers looks to go coast to coast, just lost the handle there against Harrison, and Melbourne turn it over. That's one thing that they've done well all season, Melbourne, is not turn the ball over. That's the 11th in this game, just one more than their season average, which is best in the competition.
Yeah, they look after it, as you say. Last in the league in turnover percentage, so they make sure they get a good shot up each and every possession. Meanwhile, those struggles have been big for Brisbane today. 14 turnovers over the course of the afternoon.
Sobey doesn't mean his afternoon either. Just 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from long range. Came in averaging 25 a game to lead the competition. Excellent pass from Golding. Nice finish, Travers.
Just when you think you've got him figured out, Chris Golding coming off of that flare screen action there, hits Luke Travers, dives to the basket for a slam dunk, and the fans love it absolutely in here.
So snooze timeout called here. 8:06 left on the clock, and it's Melbourne by 24.
Well, they're having a good time of it. This Melbourne United squad absolutely enjoying their basketball right now. The whole group, they've just got a flow about them now offensively. After getting everything done at the defensive end they wanted, limiting Nathan Sobey, keeping Brisbane off the offensive glass. After ticking all of those boxes, now they've just got some rhythm and flow at the offensive end. Golding lit it up in the second quarter. Others now getting open, knocking down shots, and the movement off the ball is nice too. So it's all just ticking along beautifully for the home team. And for Brisbane, just got to get down and dirty and finish the game on a high.
So Brisbane with their hands full here at the moment. Melbourne just putting on a great show, and it's their depth of talent that kills you. They've got 11 scorers in this game, bench scoring 27-7.
They share the love probably better than anybody in the competition this year. Last game against Perth, they had 5 guys in double figures. Everybody's getting a piece of it tonight.
Mitchell bounces off Travers. That's back Smith. No one else to help, so he fires, and Travers athletically upstairs grabbed the rebound. Number 5 for him in that category. The go with his 8 points. Here's Golding, who's enjoyed his afternoon. Heart of the hoop, banks 2 off the glass. 18 now for Golding, his first field goal since half-time. Smith for Sobey. Almost 3 minutes played in the final quarter. Smith steps inside low, over the top, and Golding did enough. Point outside to Sobey, and then from close range, Chris Smith adds the 2. 13 now for him.
Well, they work their way through it. Everything tough. And down the other end, everything pretty easy. Penetrate, pinch, open shot in the corner.
Well, Ian Clark enjoying his afternoon. 8 points, including 2 of 2 from deep. This is Scott showing Rob Lowe some tricks and filling it up as well. He's really turned it on here.
Yeah, obviously early in this season, he hasn't been known as a great scorer, but he's a heady professional. He's been around for a while, and he definitely knows how to put the ball in the basket if his team needs him to.
Foul's called on Shannon Scott, going to be his 3rd personal. 17 fouls called on Brisbane, 9 on Melbourne.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, they don't foul a lot, Brisbane, generally speaking.
And for Melbourne, man, they play with such a high level of physicality. Really set the tone, and this has been a game that they've been allowed to get away with all of that push and shove.
Here's Shea Healy. Tyrell Harrison shut him down. Excellent defensive work from Big Harrison. Sobey looks to go coast to coast. Well, he draws a foul on Tanner Krebs. He doesn't like it. Wants a challenge. It's going to be his first personal. I guess you can't take the coach's challenge home with you, and the likelihood of them needing it, leading by 25 with 6 minutes to play. Yeah, he's going to challenge Dean Vickerman. Let's have a look at it. The word came from behind the bench. Timeout call by Melbourne United. They're going to challenge the call on Tanner Krebs.
Yeah, I don't know, Case. What do you think, Liam?
Well, we'll wait for the replay. Tell you what, Tanner Krebs' reputation's on the line. He had the twirly finger going in a very big way.
I've seen too many players with that twirling finger get it wrong for me to have any sort of confidence.
It looks like there was contact on the arm. There is no question. I don't think Dean Vickerman will be listening to Tanner Krebs anymore on his challenge calls.
Tanner, you're out.
Sobey always aggressive to the rack and through the traffic. He got the ball initially there, Tanner Krebs. He's certainly got some ball. Did he get the arm, I think, as well? I don't know that there's enough
On
evidence
review,
there.
the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. We will resume with 2 shots to white 20.
So Sobey off to the free throw line.
That's really the first time we've been able to see Sobey get out in transition, get his head down, and try to get to the basket. Obviously, a little bit late here in this game, but moving forward, that's something that's going to be imperative for Brisbane in order for them to be successful in this season. It's getting downhill, getting out in transition, drawing fouls, and getting to the free throw line.
Good promotion in the crowd as well. Durham at 24/7 gyms with the blue towels, waving, getting the blue support out there. Now, Nathan Sobey's made his last 25 free throws.
Dating back in the last season.
No, this year, he's 28 of 29 this season. That's 26 in a row.
Okay, all right.
Hasn't missed a free throw since the opening game of the season against Adelaide.
It gets to there a hell of a lot. Not today.
But 28 of 29 at 97% this season. I spoke to him pre-game and asked if he could recall the one that he'd missed, and he said he didn't.
But you tried to get into his head.
Hey, Case was giving him everything in the world to try to get the jinx on.
The commentator's curse is a myth, I'm telling you. Sobey, quick points for Sobey now. Margin at 21. Brisbane all up and full of energy at the moment. As Ian Clark finds his way across halfway. Travis harassed by McDaniel in the corner. Here's Krebs. He overcooks the three. Courtney with the rebound. Shares it with Clark. Well, this is a dangerous look for Brisbane. He couldn't connect. Courtney another offensive rebound. That's 4 for him in that category and a 10 overall. having a moment here, Brisbane. Reaching in foul is going to be called on Brisbane. Second team foul in this quarter.
Wait, 24.
Well, frustration for Brisbane. So much effort, so much endeavour. And then they can't finish it with a rebound. Here's the steal and the finish from Sobey. Out in transition, but a couple of offensive rebounds, and now they're defending yet again.
Illy past Scott into the paint. Lob pass of Cordy. Just had to regather himself there and back 2 off the window. So 9 points, 10 boards now for Hook Cordy.
Great poise right there from the big fella. Saw he couldn't get the slam dunk on the alley-oop there. Comes down, gets poised, pump fakes, and finishes at the basket.
Well, McDaniel shut down, but was done illegally, so he's off to the free throw line as well. Aggressive move. Cordy picks up the foul. It's his second.
Shannon Scott's going to check out. Mitch Norton comes in. Good minutes. Really good minutes from Shannon Scott for a team that's just trying to end a butt-whooping in a positive way. He was good to begin this fourth quarter.
Next up, they're heading back here. Fouls to face the Phoenix. So they'd like to leave here with something, if not the win. Then they're off to Perth after that, before heading home to host Tasmania. No easy games in the NBL. 5 minutes to play in this one. 22 the margin. We started this quarter at 21, so Illy finds Hook Cordy, working on Harrison, spinning back to the left hand. Oh, that's nice to watch. What a star he is. A double-double of 11 and 11.
I absolutely love to see it. When bigs get in there, they use their good feet work, they use their good touch. It's amazing to see, and he's a young guy with that kind of ability. His future's bright, definitely.
Sobey drills the triple. So he had a slow start to the game, Nathan Sobey. Just 5 points at half-time, now up to 14. Season average of 25 to lead the competition. They're energised at the defensive end as well, Brisbane. So that's good signs for Justin Schuller. Clark in traffic. Smith got a piece of it after Sobey. It inconvenienced him. Now Illy. Sobey's got the athleticism on him. Illy happy to commit the foul and send him back to the free throw line. Just taking their foot off the accelerator here, Melbourne, and Dean Vickerman's not thrilled about it.
And you'd like to see this, I think, if you're a Brisbane fan. You know, and if you're part of that organisation, the coaching staff and the like, this is real fight. This is genuine fight in a game where you're down 20. No chance to win. But every single possession played in a tough way right to the final buzzer.
You have to. I mean, last year, as I mentioned, Melbourne missed out on finals by percentage. There were 3 teams tied on 15 and 13. So dragging this back from, got out to as many as 26, get back to 15. Who knows at the end of the season what that 9-point differential can do for you.
Points matter so much in this league. I had to learn that the hard way going into it last year and nearly missing positions based off of points or whatever you may have it. But Brizzy are doing a good job here of continuing to fight, continuing to try to stay in this game and understand that it's not all the way over yet.
So the margin cut to 19 as Travers wrestles his way back up the floor. Clark did well to reel in the pass. A little over 4 minutes out from full time. Clark guarded by Norton. Shot clock to single digits, almost halfway. Hook Cordy. Some heat from Sobey. Takes on Harrison. Can't finish it off the glass. That's good hustler game from Brisbane. Working hard. McDaniel confronted by Krebs. Works down to the baseline. Smith, Sobey, overdue, but that's not on the mark. So let's fly from right in front of our commentary position.
Although that shot didn't go in, still a really good transition, fast break there, and a great pass from Chris Smith. Not their night shooting the ball, but you want to take those positive signs going into the next week and next round.
Good pressure from McDaniel against Illy, but he's enjoying the challenge. He's forced into a tough shot, unable to convert, and here come Brisbane once more. Smith against multiple defenders, doesn't bother him, and he gets it done. 15 now in the game for him.
Just did a great job of finding the space to get that off, didn't he? He had Bordy tracking him from behind, and he had to work his way through Tanner Krebs as well. Got to the left and finished over the front.
So 3:19 on the clock. Margin has been cut to 17. It was as big as 26 during the third. Harrison, 9 points for him to go with 9 boards, 3 blocks. So haven't seen the best of him, but he's certainly in the right trajectory at the moment.
Yeah, and I thought he battled hard tonight, Tyrell Harrison with Ariel Hook 40. Not Rocco Zikarsky's best afternoon. And
timeout.
Justin Schuller had a bit of a short leash on him as the game went, and he was finding things difficult. And they've gone small now to try to scramble and make things happen defensively.
I spoke to Justin Schuller pre-game about Rocco Zikarsky and where he thought he was at the moment, and if there was a chance we might see him even as a starter in this group. Well, Aaron Baines is out for 5 games, and if they need a different look, and he said it certainly hasn't ruled that out. He said Rocco will start and play the more minutes that we think when we think he's ready to do that. But certainly we believe he's got the talent, he's got the skill, and they expect him to have a big impact this season. So coach's challenge here from Justin Schuller after seeing Vickerman burn his earlier in this 4th quarter.
Ooh, you like that, Sauce? Good challenge?
Let's see. Get a hand on it. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you don't know how it's going to turn around, but you're still fighting. It's the coach showing that they're still fighting. There's still a lot to be gained from this game. And so I love the use of the challenge there, whether it goes their way or not. Really good job. That might go back to Brizzy.
Yeah, I like your thoughts on that, Sauce, because the players are trying hard. Let's not throw in the towel here. If we can get another possession, yes, we're down 17, 3 minutes to play, but they get it
Point
back.
of view, the coaching challenge is successful. The call on the floor is overturned. We restart with a white ball on the baseline, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
And Melbourne United, just the coaching staff, not looking as happy as they were 2 minutes ago. So Brisbane restart, down 17. And off the ball here, Golding goes down. Smith is called for the foul, so that's his 5th. He is out of the game. He wants to challenge it. So Justin Schuller wants to challenge this.
I think he's saying there was a hook that took place prior to the push, and so...
Timeout call by Brisbane. They're going to challenge the call. Justin Schuller was right up straight away about that. So we go back to the bunker. Breeze can sort this one out for us.
Well, it's an interesting one. There was plenty of contact underneath as Smith was trying to get through this action. And in the end, I have no idea how they would overturn that. Yes, there might have been a bit of initial grabbing from Golding, sure, but that's the whistle right there as he shoves Golding to get free, and I don't know how that gets
no, I think NBL officials do a really good job of understanding and allowing contact to go as long as it's evenly based. And there, I just think Chris Smith just created too much of an advantage with his push-off, pushing Golding into the, I think that's McDaniel down there. Yeah, pushing Golding into McDaniel there, and so it should be an easy one.
Michael Aylen told me a little earlier pre-game he's now the most senior in terms of age.
Upon review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. The foul will remain on white 34. Blue ball.
Is he feeling it, Case? Did he bring it up, or did you bring it up?
No, I was curious because I asked him about the travel. He was in Perth with us on Friday night and how he was travelling, and I didn't see him on the flight. He went back to Adelaide because he wanted to catch up with his family and then come back here today. And they are actually changing the rostering for the referees in the sense that as of round 4, they will not be able to travel on game day. They must travel the day before, which is going to add an extra night to every road trip, which his wife wasn't thrilled about.
Right.
And he's been at it since 2007, Michael Aylen. He's one of the legends in terms of our refereeing department. So here's a chance for Brisbane once more. Norton takes on Bowen. Tough shot. And Basket interference, so the 2 will count. They continue to close here, Brisbane. Margin back to 15.
As we see here, Mitch Norton getting on the floor, diving, giving everything he possibly has for his team, and coming back down on the other end, attacking the basket, getting to the opposite side, and thankfully Kyle Bowden there grabbed the rim.
Good pressure up the floor as well from Brisbane, but McDaniel just overdoing it. So his first personal, 4th team foul on Brisbane in this quarter.
The extended pressure has invigorated them, hasn't it? And it sped the game up a little. They've not only got up the floor defensively, but then they've been able to push and run going the other way.
They've dug deep in this last quarter, Brisbane, after Melbourne outclassed them through quarters 2 and 3. 14 apiece at quarter time. It's Shea Illy from long range and starting to warm up now. 12 points for him to go with 8 assists, his best game statistically of the season, but Brisbane rush back down the floor and get a quick reply. So 5th team foul called here on Brisbane. Free throws to come for Melbourne.
Just a few little deep breaths from the Melbourne United bench after that Shea Illy hit. The Bullets coming storming back from a long way and cutting it to 15, but that one just released the pressure.
They've been forced to race all the way to the line here, Melbourne United, by Brisbane. Next game for Melbourne United coming up at Wollongong, Illawarra, and then here at home against New Zealand next Sunday. The Breakers heading back from their NBA games. Mitchell knocks down the 3.
Really doing a good job of staying in it, maintaining that full-court pressure and getting a lot of three-point shots up, putting themselves in advantage to try to come back and get this one.
Bowen with all sorts of heat. Well done, Sobey, that they broke the ball away from him. A chance for McDaniel here. Rising up with him, Shea Illy, but it's another 2 for Sam McDaniel and Brisbane. Margin cut to 13 and 1:58 on the clock, and timeout called by Melbourne United.
No quit. No quit, you love it, from the Bullets. And it's over and above just the score spread, guys. And you talk about the ladder and the percentage. Here you can see the 3-point hit from Mitchell. They forced the turnover, kick it ahead. McDaniel did a good job just to fend Illy off without extending to finish and force the timeout. When Justin Schuller took over this Brisbane squad, he talked about daily habits. He said, we want to build ourselves about our habits. And it's what we do on the practice floor. It's what we do in the gym. It's what we do every single possession of every single game. And so no doubt he would have talked about that in one of these fourth quarter huddles to say, don't worry about the score. It's about our habits and who we are as a group on a season-long basis. And they've shown great fight here in the fourth.
Yeah, they've been great right to the end here. And that's a credit to Justin Schuller to turn that around. Here in this last quarter, they've scored 27 points against the best defensive team in the competition. They only managed 14 in the first and 14 in the second, 17 in the third. But here, when there was a very small chance of victory, they've decided to keep going and keep going.
And it makes you think, you know what, next time you come up against United, you're going to speed the game up a little. You know, with such a half-court grind for 3 quarters, and then they got up. Look, they're extending the pressure, put some pace into the game, and it's been much more effective for them.
Another thing they've done is they've gone small. They took the 5 out of it and put DJ Mitchell there at the 5, and so it's allowed them to create more full-court pressure and chaos out there.
So more free throws to come here for Melbourne United.
All right, 2 shots.
Second personal for Sam McDaniel. Luke Travers to the free throw line. 3 of 4 so far in this game. 7 of 10 on the season coming into today. A reminder, still to come, Sydney against Perth. A little later in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Melbourne scored 88 points in their win in Perth on Friday night, which was their highest score of the season. Inside the last 2 minutes. Isaac White going solo, hard to the rim, set on the wouldn't fall for him, and Rob Lowe grabs the rebound, dribbles out of the traffic. Golding back to Shea Ili. Happy to milk the clock here. Shot clock to single digits as Ili feeds low. Now Golding just lost control of it. And a whistle on the play as well from Jackie Dover.
We may be looking at an unsportsmanlike call here.
Nick, I got no view.
Do you have any information on that play?
No, I get flat line on the ball. Are you comfortable with normal foul, or would you like to review it for it to go up to C3?
I'd like to review it.
For C3?
Yes, C3.
Replay centre, can we please do a review for C3? Unnecessary contact in transition.
Well, you see from Chris Golding reaching in there against Shannon Scott. That's what they're going to have a look at.
The instinct just kicks in to reach across to try to snatch at it, but in the end, I think that's a quintessential unsportsmanlike, as per how the rule is these days. As a player, you just reach out. You just do that in that situation.
Yeah, you want to make up for fumbling the ball there, as CG did, and I don't think there was any malintent with it, but according to the rules, as we see here, it's unsportsmanlike. 2 shots in the ball for Brisbane.
Go! Thank you.
Second foul in the game for Chris Golding. Free throws to come for Shannon Scott. And they've done this well because they had just 6 free throws at three-quarter time, Brisbane. And now they're going to be up to 14 after this one. Taking more free throws in this quarter than they were able to produce in the first 3 quarters combined.
Here we go! Go, Wide! Go!
So 13 is the margin. 1:27 left on the clock. Brisbane to restart. McDaniel for White against Golding. Lost the handle and triples out of court. So good pressure there from Chris Golding. Forces the error. Turnover number 16 for Brisbane. Melbourne likewise with 16 turnovers in the game, including 6 in this last quarter. And almost another one. It is another one. 7 in this quarter now. McDaniel misses the shot. Scott against Clark. Down low now working on Travers. Turnaround, showed them some tricks and came up with a finish as well. 17 in the game.
That's tough. The length of Travers was an issue, and Shannon Scott found a way.
It's a little over a minute to play here. Margin cut to 11. This is as close as Brisbane have been since the second quarter. Great fight back in this last term from them. And Sobey climbs up high. Good, terrific defensive play. And Brisbane are running again here. Ian Clark gets back to defuse it though. The ball came to low and now Golding hands over to Shea Ili. So full credit to Brisbane, the way they've dug deep here. Melbourne going to navigate their way through stormy waters. Shannon Scott again, that's why he leads the league in steals, and a blocking foul called on Shea Ili, so more free throws coming now.
Shannon Scott's effort in this second half is truly inspiring. As he comes up right here, that's you just see Sobey get up to almost the top of the backboard and block that one. And then Shannon Scott coming back on the other end, poised, takes the contact, gets it up, gets to the free throw line.
He's got 8 points in this quarter so far, Shannon Scott. Scoreless at halftime, 9 in the third, now 9 in the fourth.
With only a couple of possessions remaining, Justin Schuler rings the changes. Gabe Hadley comes in, Matt John Zakarsky, and first NBL court time here, Case. Is that fair to say for Tristan Devers? Nunawading Jr., Victorian representative, and here he gets a chance to step out, make his NBL debut in front of friends and family.
Tristan was a training player for us for a short time last year in Southeast Melbourne, so it's definitely great to see him get an opportunity out there to mix it up a little bit on the NBL floor.
Yeah, part of the Australian Under-17 program. Played with Nunawading, as you say. So a good moment for him. Beyond the deck here in Melbourne, fans climb to their feet. Justin Schuler's called off the D. Clark One way, back the other, into the paint, firing over Zakarski, and coming up with it too. Nice finish. He's into double figures as well. So 5 in double figures again, as they were in Perth on Friday night. Been a good fight back from Brisbane, but ultimately going to fall short. Hadley gets a look from deep. It's off the mark, getting after it. John trying to keep it alive. Final siren in the background. Melbourne has prevailed. They beat Perth on Friday night. They've beaten Brisbane here on Sunday, and they've taken their record to 4-1 on top of the NBL ladder, and they've done it here in the final analysis by 11 points. It's full-time at John Cain Arena. Melbourne 89, Brisbane 78.
Well, great weekend for Melbourne United. Go over to Perth and get the job done, and then do the same at home. And there's your Foot Locker player of the game, Chris Goulding.
Chris Goulding, Foot Locker player of the game. And what a finish it was, 18 points. We'll take a short break. Be back to wrap it up right after this.
This programme is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where it was a 9-point win in a dominant effort for Melbourne United, who remain atop the ladder, pushing the Brisbane Bullets further down with a convincing win. Leonard Copeland, from what you saw there, more impressed by Melbourne United, or a little bit worried on how Brisbane are going to deal without Aaron Baines?
Well, look, Melbourne United were always in control of this match. I don't think Dean Bickerman liked the way they finished. Brisbane really pushed them at the end. But when Goulding's shooting the ball the way he does and the guys are playing defense, then they're always going to get that win.
Well, that's all she wrapped up from here. Matthew Dellavedova with a concussion issue, but of course stick around because the Perth Wildcats take on the Sydney Kings, two of the best players in the league, head to head.